To understand the backstory of this video, do watch the video on the life of King Shantanu, who laid the foundation for the epic of Mahabharata. The link to that video is available in the comments below. Vichitravirya, the son of Shantanu and Satyavati, grew up to become the king of Hastinapur, and his stepbrother Bhishma's guarding ensured no evil eye prying on the throne. When Vichitravirya reached adolescence, Bhishma got the responsibility to find a fitting queen for the new king of Hastinapur. The king of Kashi hosted an event for his three daughters, Amba, Ambika, and Ambalika, to choose their grooms. Soon, the news of Swayamvar of the princesses of Kashi spread, and Bhishma found them to be the best for Vichitravirya. Bhishma decided to go to Kashi and win the bride for his stepbrother. Kashi was decorated for the Swayamvar, and the prince and kings of all remote regions were gathered to prove their credibility. When Bhishma entered, the guests present for the event thought that Bhishma came there to win the Swayamvar for himself, and they mockingly said, "Seems like the beauty of the princesses has stolen the oath of the celibate. He must have forgotten that this is a Swayamvar and not a battlefield." Those piercing words made Bhishma wrathful, and he said in a loud voice, "I am here to represent my king, Vichitravirya, and I am taking these three princesses of Kashi with me. If any of the kings present here want to challenge, he must have to win against me." Nobody from the crowd dared to stop Bhishma, and he took the princesses with him. While Bhishma, with the three princesses, Amba, Ambika, and Ambalika, was heading back towards Hastinapur, King Shalva blocked his way. Shalva and Amba wanted to get married to each other even before the Swayamvar was arranged, but nobody knew about it. Shalva challenged Bhishma, but he couldn't stand before him for long. Bhishma was a peerless bowman, and he defeated Shalva. But on Amba's request, Bhishma spared Shalva's life. They all arrived at Hastinapur, and Mother Satyavati delightedly welcomed the princesses. The marriage ceremony was arranged, but before the ritual started, Amba revealed her love for King Shalva. She said, "I have mentally chosen King Shalva as my husband, and my heart will not accept anyone else now." And then she mockingly addressed Bhishma, "O son of Ganga, you are learned in scriptures, so tell me, after knowing my truth, what will you do?" Bhishma politely arranged the return of Amba with full princely honors. Amba reached Shalva's palace, but when she told everything that had happened to Shalva, he refused to accept Amba. He said Bhishma had defeated him in a duel and carried Amba in front of everyone. For that reason, he cannot accept her as his wife now. Disappointed, Amba returned to Hastinapur and sought Bhishma to marry her, but Bhishma was bound by his oath. Finding no refuge, Amba walked out of the courtroom of Hastinapur, cursing Bhishma. She said, "Because of you I am suffering. O Bhishma, I will be the cause of your death." Vichitravirya's marriage with Ambika and Ambalika consummated, but did not last long. Vichitravirya lost his life early, and his two wives were left childless. Once again, the throne was left without a king and the crown without an owner. Satyavati tried to persuade Bhishma to ascend the throne, but Bhishma did not agree. She even tried to free Bhishma from her father's promises made during her wedding with Shantanu, but in vain. Bhishma's vow was firm. He had already decided to serve the throne for a lifetime, but not to ascend it as a king. Satyavati's worries increased multifold as there was no heir to the throne. One day, Satyavati called Bhishma and asked him to invite sage Krishnadwapayan. Bhishma followed the instructions and personally went to bring the sage home. The matted-locked and dark-complexioned ascetic with long beard and firmness in his eyes, Krishnadwapayan came to Hastinapur on the request of Satyavati. Satyavati asked for his help. She asked him to bless the Queen Ambika with the future king of Hastinapur. Initially, the sage was reluctant, but he couldn't refuse the request of Satyavati. He said, "I need some time to prepare myself for this union. I appear unpleasant due to the rigorous austerities." Satyavati said, "I don't want to wait any further. The kingdom should get its heir as soon as possible." The sage then agreed to the wishes of Satyavati. Satyavati convinced Ambika to enter the quarters of the sage for the union. But the harsh looks on the face of the sage frightened Ambika. She couldn't hold the sight for long and closed her eyes while her unison with the sage. After the union, the sage foresaw the future and told Satyavati that the child born out of their union would be blind. "The citizens will not accept a blind king," said Satyavati, and requested Krishnadwapayan to consummate her second daughter-in-law, Ambalika. She asked Ambalika to enter the chamber of the sage, as she requested Ambika before. But Ambalika couldn't face the frightening looks of the sage and went pale. The union of the sage with Ambalika was about to bear a child with a pale look. He would be physically normal, but not well built and not ideal for being a king. Satyavati's misery grew. She didn't want the throne to be decked with a king who lacks any of the kingly qualities. She tried to persuade Ambika again, but this time Ambika secretly sent her maid into the quarters of the sage. That maid ensured the comfort of the sage and dutifully served him without any fear. That maid of Ambika then bore a healthy child. In due course, Ambika gave birth to a blind son, Dhritarashtra. Ambalika gave birth to a pale child, Pandu, and the maid of Ambika gave birth to a healthy child, Vidura. Vidur was born with all the supreme knowledge. The three children then, under the supervision of Bhishma, grew and gained the knowledge of the scriptures, warfare, and politics. The sage Krishnadwapayan, who blessed the queens of Hastinapur, is known to the world as Ved Vyas, the one who wrote Mahabharata.